Yo, what is up guys, Fer here, and as you saw by the title of this video, that's what we're going to be discussing today. Why Shanks is literally impossible to capture or detain, and why his bounty could be only dead, because there's literally no point in capturing him in the first place, because it's impossible. And here's why. Now, before we get into the video, subscribe if you're new here and like the video if you want to see more content like this, and I will be more active from now on because we are on break this week, so expect a couple of videos in the next coming days. Now, when it comes to the Yonko, we know that these guys are the strongest pirates on the sea, but that doesn't exactly make them invincible. We've seen cases where someone like Shiki, who is arguably Pirate King level in terms of his combat ability, well, we know he got defeated by Garp and Sengoku and was then taken to Impel Down. Obviously, it didn't take too long before he escaped, but the point here is that he was detained despite being one of the strongest characters in the series. In other words, they were able to restrain him from going crazy to the point that he couldn't leave Impel Down. And even then, I think they did a pretty bad job when it comes to keeping Shiki at Impel Down, because we know he escaped. And realistically speaking, the best thing they should have done was the same treatment that Doflamingo got, whereas they chained his entire body with sea stone. But for some reason, Shiki was treated like any other prisoner in level 6 and was only given sea stone cuffs on his legs. But even then, something as little as that prevented him from escaping. But the reason they were able to keep him there in the first place was because he was a devil fruit user, and we know when it comes to these individuals, they're cuffed with sea stone before they're taken to Impel Down. Sea stone being the biggest weakness for, to devil fruit users, and it doesn't really matter how strong you are. The effects of sea stone weakens devil fruit users regardless of their physical strength. Even people as strong as Big Mom was completely useless when she drowned before making it ashore in Wano. And when it comes to Shiki, he only escaped by drastic measures. It was only till he amputated both his legs that he was finally able to escape, which makes a lot of sense because he can now use his devil fruit ability to escape and fight his way out. Okay, so his devil fruit powers doesn't work. Why didn't Shiki use Haki? I think we can all assume that someone of Shiki's level would know about the advanced levels of ornaments, and you can probably use something in the same light as Rayleigh, right? But the answer here is that he couldn't use Haki, based on the revelations we had in chapter 935 in Wano, whereas we learned that Luffy couldn't use his devil fruit ability and Haki while under the effects of sea stone. And this was something I thought about beforehand because it didn't make too much sense for how they were able to keep these top tier criminals in check. While their devil fruit ability was taken away, they had a secondary ability that they could rely on, which was Haki. But for some reason, even then, they were unable to escape. Obviously, we had Shiki being the outlier here, but even then, he lost limbs to escape. But it makes a lot more sense now, given that sea stone not only blocks devil fruit abilities, but also stops one's use of Haki. And this is how they were able to detain the strongest of pirates. And we have to remember that sea stone doesn't simply negate devil fruit powers, but it also drains the energy of the user to a point where they're unable to move or do simple actions. And this is why devil fruit users are unable to swim, because they become very weak. And we also know that sea stone can vary in terms of how much they weaken the user, and this depends on its density. For example, Luffy and the prisoners were able to move despite having sea stone, and that is because it's most likely less dense than, let's say, the version that was used on Big Mom. So once a devil fruit user gets caught, it's almost impossible for them to escape. Impossible if the people who capture them know what they're doing. Like, instead of having simple cuffs, you can simply tie this person's entire body with dense sea stone to kind of replicate the effects of the sea, as that takes away every bit of strength that the devil fruit user has. Blackbeard, Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, all these characters can get captured, and we also know that Kaido has been captured before. So this isn't something that's impossible for the Yonkos. But this is something that doesn't apply to Shanks, simply because this only applies to devil fruit users. People without devil fruits are completely immune to these effects, so this means nothing for individuals like Shanks. And I think, given that Shanks is probably the strongest Haki user in the verse, I think he can break sea stone with his ability, whether it be advanced ornaments or Conqueror's Haki. So how do they capture individuals like Shanks? Well, it's very simple. They don't, because even though you somehow defeated Shanks, tie him up, he's going to escape, because there's nothing stopping him from using his abilities, unlike devil fruit users. In other words, Shanks' bounty should only be used for the sole purpose of getting rid of him, hence why I think his bounty should be only dead. However, given how One Piece goes and how the story rolls, it's probably going to be the same as the other Yonkos, even though I feel like it's impossible to capture Shanks. So what did we learn today? Is Shanks the God King? No. Is Shanks impossible to detain or capture? Yes. But that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Comment down below what you guys think. Like the video if you liked it, because that definitely motivates me to make more One Piece content for you guys. And subscribe if you're new here. Also, hit the notification bell if you want to get notified for future videos, because YouTube is a mess right now. But yeah, guys, it is Ferro, and I will see you folks later. Peace.